Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So I feel a lot better. If you can't tell, my headache is finally gone away. I was really worried that I was going to have a headache all day long, but I feel a lot better. So now we can chat for a second. So when I first started my channel, you guys, I used to do like morning meditations and then I used to do evening meditations where we would read, like a daily reflection reading, and we would kind of talk about how our day went for that day and set goals for the next day. Hey, Merk. Hey, Deidre. And so I was thinking, because I've been reading through you guys' comments and I've been commenting back to everybody. Hey, Brad. Whatever you do, whatever works for you, man, I support all pathways to recovery. Really don't judge anybody if they take kratom, because who am I to judge? I actually have a very good friend who has a channel. Her channel is called Natural Addiction Recovery, and her name is Avalon. And you should check out her channel, man. She's got a lot of really good information on kratom. Okay. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Green-Eyed Cat. Hey, Jimmy. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some hope tonight. Hey, Seth. What's up, baby? All right. Welcome, everybody. Come in, have a seat, greet your neighbor. Welcome the newcomer. All right. So, we're going to read an evening meditation. Okay, guys? I hope this helps anybody that's struggling. Sitting in on my first live with you. Need a change of pace from the Hey, HRB Dizzle. What's up? Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. Hey, Christina. Hey, Jules Freedom. What's up? Okay, guys. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad to see so many new faces in the chat, for real. My name's Nicole, and I'm an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. I do utilize medically assisted treatment. I'm currently on 4 milligrams of Suboxone and steadily tapering down, and I try to update when I drop down each time. Do I know Frank? I do know a guy named Frank from YouTube. His name is 80s Baby. Everyone. Kensington. Oh, yes, Christina. Yes, I do watch his channel, ATG Vlogs, right? I love his channel. Hopefully I'll be able to have him on the channel to do an interview one day. I just haven't really reached out to him since his channel has blown up. Okay. Hey, Last Shelby First Helping Hand. I remember you from Jason's Deli. Text messages. I hope you check them out. Good night, everybody. Hey, Claudia. I got them. I haven't read them yet, but I got them. Thank you, baby girl. I appreciate you. Okay, daily reflections. Here we go, you guys. Let's do this. Okay. So here's the daily reflection for January 4th, 2020. So here we go. Oh, what's up, Christina? Welcome. Come on in. For real, girl, we do nightly live streams here, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. You guys, you can always find me here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. On Friday nights at 7, we do MERA, which is Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. It's a non-judgmental 12-step program for people that are using maintenance medications. I mean, anybody's welcome, but that's who it was created for. And it's pretty awesome. They have their own 12 steps and they're working on writing a book. It started about 2 years ago and it's really starting to take off and people are starting to join. So we do MERA on Friday nights. Then on Mondays and Wednesdays, Mondays are usually step study days. And then Wednesdays are just free for alls. And then I have people on and we do interviews and we hear their stories about how they got into their active addiction and what they're doing now to get into their recovery. I have people on who have, been to prison and now they're out of prison and they're doing good. Just a whole mishmash of different people. I'm not an addict or anything. I also watch Jessica Kent and Christina Randall. Have you seen them at all? Hey, Melissa, I actually know exactly who you're talking about. I watch all the same people, girl. All the same people. Oh, what's up, Samuel? What's up? I really appreciate that. My aunts and uncles live in California in Yucaipa and East LA in Whittier. Wasn't that a good video, Jules? Dr. B is the bomb, y'all. He is like I have so much respect for him. Okay, so here we go. Begin where you are. Let's listen up. We feel that elimination of our drinking is but a beginning. So this is talking about you really live this life. Yeah, girl, I be living this life. This is how I live. This is my recovery is 24/7, girl, 7 days a week. I don't sleep on my recovery because if I take a nap and I try to sleep on my recovery, guess what's going to happen? Your girl's going to relapse. I've had it happen to me a million times, and I'm only speaking from experience, you guys. Every time I let my guard down, I get fucked up. And so I work really hard on staying consistent here on my channel and doing what I say I'm going to do. Like, that's so important to me, you guys. I don't just come on my channel and like blow smoke up y'all's skirts for no reason. All right. Like, this is what I do for my life. This is what saves my life. And it's just an awesome, it's just an awesome opportunity that it actually helps other people, because honestly, this really does help me. And through helping other people here on my channel, I have met so many amazing friends. I have amazing support system in all of you guys. I have amazing girls that I work with one-on-one. I have so many people that help me stay sober, you guys. And I truly believe that it takes a whole damn village. And so I've got a whole village of folks that help me stay on the right path and help me stay accountable. That's right. Stay on the straight and narrow. Yes. I'd slip too, but meth gave me a heart condition, so I sort of can't relapse. Well, you always can, but you don't want to. I feel what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we have to remember. Like, none of us are, like, I'm not immune to relapsing, you guys. Just because I'm on Suboxone doesn't mean I can't go out and get high on methamphetamine or cocaine or anything. Like the way I was when I was in my addiction, I was getting high on everything and anything. And so now I work really hard on staying abstinent from all other drugs. I take my medication as it's prescribed, and I share with people about that because there's so much judgment in the community surrounding maintenance medication. And the whole reason why I share my story is because for a long time I felt ashamed and I felt like I couldn't share my story because I felt judged. But that's not how it is anymore. We have an amazing, amazing support system here, and y'all are all welcome to stay. So, okay, here we go. Enough of me talking. Let's get to the word. January 4th, begin where you are. We feel the elimination of our drinking and using is but a beginning. A much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective homes, occupations, and affairs. And that's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 19. All right. It's usually pretty easy for me to be pleasant to the people in an AA setting. While I'm working to stay sober, I'm celebrating with my fellow AAs, our common release from the hell of drinking. It's often not so hard to spread glad tidings to my old and new friends in the program. At home or at work, though, it can be a different story. It is in situations arising in both of those areas that the little day-to-day frustrations are more evident and where it can be tough to smile or reach out with a kind word or an attentive ear. It's outside of the AA rooms that I face the real test of the effectiveness of my walk through AA's 12 steps. So basically what I hear out of this reading is that it's easy to be cool and to be kind and to help others when we're just like if you're in church or you're inside of a meeting. It's easy to be kind and supportive when you're in the meeting, when you're around all those people who are also being supportive and kind and helping others. But the true test comes when we step out of that building and we step out into the real world when we're surrounded with other people who maybe aren't sober, real people who aren't kind, who are not thinking of how they can be of assistance and service to other people, right? Because, okay, so what I learned when I got sober and through working the steps with my sponsor is that when I wake up in the morning, I give my will and my life over to my higher power, okay? And then what I try to do in my mind is I say, how can I be effective in helping others today? How can I focus and help others in their lives today? Because part of my disease is being selfish and self seeking and only thinking of what I can do to serve me. So, part of my recovery in fighting that disease is thinking of others and doing what I can to help others. And that helps me stay focused on staying sober. So it's easy to do these things when when it's easy to do these things when you're sitting in the front row and the preacher's preaching right at you, right? But it's a true test when you have to walk out and be on your own, and that's when you're on your own, you're at your job, or maybe you're driving down your old neighborhood where you used to get high. That's where all the things that you've learned in your recovery are going to spring into action, right? So part of the way of springing into action and practicing the things that you've learned in recovery, right, is repetition. And that's why, y'all, I might sound like a broken record, but I do the same thing over and over and over again until I basically drilled it into my little pea brain, because I was so used to getting high that it was my second nature. It was the thing that I thought of next. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Let me get fucked up. Oh, I'm feeling good. Let me get fucked up. Oh, my man's here. Let me get fucked up. It was always about getting fucked up. And so now that I'm sober, I've had to practice doing those things, doing the next right thing, being of service, helping other people. And that's why I practice here on my channel. This helps me practice what I have to do every day. This helps me to be able to drive past the dope man's house and not make a U-turn and stop. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I live in the same neighborhood where I used to get high. I stay right down the street from where I used to get fucked up at. I used to lock myself in the bathroom upstairs and shoot up for hours, you guys. And so I'm faced with triggers and thoughts of my old life every single day. Every single day. Yes, it's Tuesday. Let's get fucked up. It doesn't matter, dude. It would be like, I wrecked my car. Let's get fucked up. Like, it doesn't matter. Every single day was a day to get fucked up. And so practicing these things in my life is what helps me. So all you got to do is start practicing these new behaviors, practicing hanging out with people who are a good influence, practicing waking up in the morning, doing your meditation, reading your book about your recovery from addiction. One of the things that I really want people to understand, if you come to my channel and you're new in recovery, one of the best ways to fight your addiction is to educate yourself about your disease. Okay? Knowledge is power. You can't fight something that you don't understand. So if you want to fight your addiction, if you want to get sober and stay sober and be successful, then you have to educate yourself and learn about how the disease works in your brain and how you respond and what you do, and analyze your behaviors from your past. That's why we've been doing things here on the channel okay, so there's a couple of videos. If you guys go back a couple of videos, there's videos on my channel about chronic relapsing, and I'm showing you guys each relapse that I had where I actually was trying to get sober, because shit, I've relapsed many other times before that. But those times I wasn't trying to get sober. I just quit using because I had to, you know what I mean? And so through taking those relapses and breaking them apart, it's helped me to be able to learn where I was going wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Consistency. Chrissy, I understand. My problem is consistency too with food addiction. Okay, so just like having hey Aaron, just like having a substance abuse problem, when you get sober, you guys, you might find yourself in the situation that I'm in now, where my addiction has manifested itself in other areas of my life, aka I love to eat. And so one of the things that I'm having to train my brain now with is the consistency of eating healthy instead of going back to my norm, which is fast, easy junk food. And so I'm relearning all over again. I'm having to take step 1 all over again. Okay. Step 1, we admitted we were powerless over drugs and alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Okay. I'm on a new step 1. Step 1, I'm admitting that I'm powerless over food. Okay. That food has caused me a lot of heartache and pain, and that I can't manage my food intake. So I'm having to start all over again and reevaluate my life when it's centered around eating, because through getting sober, I lost a lot of the activities that I used to do in my addiction, like driving around aimlessly, getting fucked up, going to the store and stealing everything out of the Walmart. Those kind of things you did when you were getting high. Like now, I don't do those things, so I filled that time with fucking stuffing my face. So now I'm having to learn how to change that behavior and replace it with something healthy. It's very difficult, especially when you're first getting started. And it's very difficult if you can't admit you have a problem and acknowledge it. So for the longest time, I wasn't willing to admit that I had a problem with food. I wasn't willing to admit that I had a problem with drugs and alcohol either. And so that's why I kept falling back for so many years, because I was hanging on to this reservation that maybe, just maybe, I could get high and be okay and not have anything bad happen. You know, I liked and subscribe. Hey, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. I see you. I see you, Mr. Porn Addiction. Um, So, and even with, okay, so addiction, just with porn and sex addiction, you guys, it can take any form in your life. And you can have an addiction to anything, really. Anything that you can, anything, porn, sex, food, drugs, working out, cleaning, cluttering, like collecting too many things, hoarding things. Um, Taking care of other people. You can have an addiction to being codependent. Okay. Like these are all things that I think a lot of the reasons why we do these things is because we want to feel something else inside of us, because we feel like we're not complete. And so we search for something to fill that void. Hey, Marcus. And so, oh, thanks, Seth. Yeah, y'all give me thumbs ups. I really appreciate it when y'all do that for me. Um, we feel incomplete, and so we're searching for something. So if that's you, if you're feeling like you're incomplete right now, if you feel like you're feeling yourself because you don't feel whole, I know how that is, and I'm going through the same thing. I'm going through the same thing because I found myself at a point in my recovery where I was stunted and I felt like I wasn't whole again. And so I started using food to replace that. I started self-medicating with food, and now I'm finding my way out of that. Today was a good day, you guys. I'm so proud of myself. I ate healthy. I did amazing. And I'll tell you guys, I'm having headaches because I think I'm not eating all that sugar that I was eating before. And so I'm having like withdrawals from sugar. So it's all a learning process. Like right now, I'm not a guru in recovery, you guys. I'm just a regular person like you guys. And I struggle with every single day things just like y'all do. That's what I need everyone to understand, especially the people that are new on my channel. Like, I don't have access to anything that you don't have access to, also. Like, you can do all these things that I've done for myself too, from the from the from the quiet of your own home while you're safe. You can do everything that I'm sharing with you guys, and you can get to where I am with my recovery from drug addiction. You can do the same thing. But like I said, just like I've gotten to a point with my addiction to drugs, now I'm finding myself that I have something new I need to tackle. And so we're never going to stop learning and growing. I'm never going to stop trying to be a better version of myself. And see, that's the thing. When I was using drugs, I wasn't trying to better my life. I wasn't trying to be a better version of myself. In fact, I didn't give a damn. I didn't care, you know? I was ruining my life. And so now I actually have the desire to be a better version of myself, you know? And so now I've gotten to this point A. Now I'm in point A and I'm like, shoot, I still got to go to point B. And it'll go like that all the way down the alphabet. I'll never stop moving forward, you guys. As long as I'm staying moving forward, I'm making progress. You know, it's when you start staying stunted or going backwards and going back into your old life, those are warning signs, you know? When you find yourself hanging out with your old friends that are getting high still, that's a warning sign. When you find yourself, you know, stopping doing the things that you were doing to stay healthy and stay sober, that's a warning sign. These are all warning signs that are saying, woohoo, red flags. It's time to get back on track. It's time to get back on track, you know? Hey, hey, 80s baby. Yeah, I feel a lot better. My head's not hurting anymore, y'all. And what I did was I got up, I had a turkey sandwich with Dijon mustard and some Tostitos chips. Intricate Eternal. Sometimes it's better to not have any friends. Sometimes that's the way to go. Because are they really your friends? And I want to ask you guys this. Were all those people that you had around you when you were getting high, were they really your friends? Did they really care about your well-being? Were those friends, would they lay down their life to help you? No. No. That's why they're not here anymore. That's why they're not here anymore, you guys. You have friends here on Real Talk Recovery. This is a support system, you guys, and you can make this, you can be as active in Real Talk Recovery as you want to. It's really up to you. You know, we have a Discord, we have a Facebook group, we have the Patreon. There's all ways that you guys can interact with each other, but it's really up to you how active you are, you know? And what you guys will notice is people come and they go. They come and they go. But one thing for certain is I'm always going to be here doing the same thing I was doing a year ago because I have found what works for me in my recovery. And I'm not willing to let go of that. I'm not willing to let go. Seems like addiction gets its hooks in somehow. All I do now is cigs and food. It's better than heroin, but I wish I could exercise, but I live with chronic pain, so it's a catch 22. Matthew, I totally understand, man. I totally know what you mean. And that's exactly what it is we have addiction inside of us. Okay. It's never going to leave. Even though I'm sober right now, my addiction's not gone. It's still there. It's just in remission because I'm treating it. Okay. Um, the disease of addiction is the manifestation of an allergy, okay? It's inside of you before you ever pick up a drink or a drug, all right? So when you pick up for the first time, that's what wakes up that addiction. And you have the allergic reaction, which is, hey, this is great. I need more, okay? You can line up 5 people, okay? 2 people are going to take a drink of alcohol or do a line of cocaine and they are going to hate it. They're going to say, get that away from me. I don't like feeling uncomfortable. I don't like being out of control. And then 3 other people are going to take the line of cocaine and they're going to be like, woohoo, give me more, you know, because their bodies both, Those 5 people, 2 people's bodies are normal people, and the other 3 people have the disease of addiction inside of them. Okay. So, and that's the thing. It can be inside of you, and you can never pick up a drink or a drug, and it could never wake up. Or what could happen is it can show itself in other forms in your life, like overeating or having sex with a lot of men and being promiscuous. It's a sickness. Yes, the disease of addiction is a sickness. And so when we take drugs into our body, it triggers it, it wakes it up, and that's when it takes over. And you lose the power of choice. So it's lifelong. It's never going to not be there. Like, I'm never going to get rid of my addiction, but I can treat it. It's treatable, and I can keep it at bay as long as I remain diligent in my efforts to treat my disease. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand? Um, I hope that helps a little bit to understand. And for those of you that have the disease of addiction, when you hear me saying this, I hope it gives you like, oh, that's it. That's what's wrong. That's why I can't, because there's nothing wrong with you. You just have a disease. You are sick. Does regret from use ever go away? Actually, it does. It doesn't go away, intricate internal. You have to work. You have to work to get through it. Okay. I used to be very ashamed of the things I did in my active addiction. And I truly believe that I started to feel less shame and guilt when, one, I made amends. So I worked the 12 steps with my sponsor. I acknowledged the behaviors and I took responsibility for the things that I did that I wasn't proud of. I made amends to the people that I needed to make amends to, the people, the financial institutions, the jobs, all this kind of stuff, right? And that helped me to get through that part of almost feeling guilty and ashamed of it. So, but it's taken me work. It's not like I it's not like I just woke up one day and I didn't regret everything, like it's taken me a lot of work, you guys. And hey, Angel, you guys can do it, but it takes action. And that's another thing. Like, I cannot stress to you guys enough. You are not going to get sober and heal if you're just sitting there expecting it to happen from not using drugs. Okay? Not using drugs is the easy part. It's the staying stopped and continuing on in your treatment that's hard. Okay. The easy part. Oh, Angel, I will, girl. I'll pray for her tonight. I promise. Let me write that down. Um, it's easy to stop doing drugs. It's hard to stay stopped and actually do the work that comes behind it. Because in getting sober and doing the work, that's when you have to take responsibility. And that's when you have to really look at the actions and the shit that you were doing. You know what I mean? And it's hard, you guys. It's not fun to look back on that shit. It's sometimes I think, damn, I can't believe I did that. You have been defeated by the disease. And that's another thing. Like, a lot of people want to go on and on and on, fighting their addiction and like trying to wrestle around with it. It's gonna beat you every single time. It's going to beat you every single time. Okay, I want to read one more thing to you guys. Okay, one more thing. When I was using, I lived in a spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. I had constructed my prison with bars of self will and indulgence from which I could not escape. Occasional dry spells that seemed to promise freedom would turn out to be little more than hopes of a reprieve. True escape required a willingness to follow whatever right actions were needed to turn the lock. With that willingness and action, both the lock and the bars themselves opened for me. Continued willingness and action keep me free in a kind of extended daily probation that need never end. I'm beginning to see that self-isolation isn't good either. I live in a small town where I had to drop all my friends. Isolation sucks. I'm trying to find better influence, if just only on the internet. Matthew, join our Discord, man. There's a lot of us in there. So that's a good reading right there. I want to read that one more time. Listen, y'all. Okay, when getting high, I lived in a spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. So when we were getting high, we were confined, okay? We were behind bars. I had constructed my prison with bars of self-will and self-indulgence from which I could not escape. So occasional dry spells, that means like times where we quit for like a little bit, that seemed to promise freedom would turn out to be little more than hopes of a reprieve. True escape required a willingness to follow whatever right actions. So this is what I'm telling you guys about when I'm talking to y'all about action. Like, it has to be, you have to take action. Nothing is going to change if nothing changes. Nothing's going to change if you sit in your house and isolate, and that's all that's going to happen. You're going to be miserable. With that willingness and action, both the lock and the bars themselves open for me. Continued willingness and action keep me free in a kind of extended daily probation that need never end. So basically, we lock ourselves in our own personal prison of addiction, of self-will run riot, self-indulgence, self-centered, self-seeking, selfishness, right? That's what addiction is. It's just straight up selfish. And so we are locked behind in a prison of our own making. That's what the disease of addiction does. It holds you down. It drowns you. It's like being in the shallow end and having somebody put your head underwater and not let you up for a breath of air, you know? But the good thing about it, the most amazing, most beautiful thing about it is, guess what? You have the power to unlock the prison door. You don't have to be locked away anymore. All it takes is action and willingness on your part. And so this is my suggestion to anybody out there that's struggling, that doesn't understand what they need to do, that is saying, you know, Nicole says it takes action, but I'm just sitting here isolating and I don't know what to do. I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to reach out to a man or a woman in recovery, and you need to ask them for suggestions. You need to find somebody that's been sober for at least 2 years and go up to that person and say, I don't know how to stay sober. All I'm doing is locking myself in my bedroom and I'm fucking miserable. Can you tell me what I need to do? Can you show me how to live my life clean and happy? And have that person work with you. Do the AA steps, do the NA steps, go to Smart Recovery, go to Celebrate Recovery, do Mara meetings, do something. But don't lock yourself away in your room, because you're going to be miserable. You're going to be a dry drunk. You're going to be a dry addict. You're going to be wishing you could get high and locking yourself behind your door so that way you can't go out and do anything. That's what happens when people just quit drugs and they don't do any work on themselves. They're miserable and they hate their lives. And you don't want to be to that point, because you might as well get fucked up. You might as well get fucked up and get the relief if you're going to be miserable. Do you know what I'm saying? I see that happen to a lot of people, and it's because they're not willing to ask for help, because their pride and their ego holds them back. Don't be too proud to get help, because it will kill you. Your pride will put you in the grave. I know from experience. I used to be too proud to ask for help. I used to think I should be able to handle it on my own. And that attitude almost killed me. What is that? I used to be so fucking jealous of people in recovery. I thought they were all lying about their happiness. I know. And listen, you guys, I'm not trying to beat you over the head with like AA or NA or any kind of program. I just want you to find something that works for you. It doesn't have to be the 12 steps, but I can tell you from experience that the 12 steps have given me freedom in my life. And I've been able to heal because I've worked the 12 steps with another addict. That addict helped me and taught me how to live my life clean today. And now I'm able to hand down that same information to other addicts and alcoholics. And that's how the whole program works. One person helps one person, then that person helps the next person, then that person helps the next person, and so on and so forth. And it's like a never-ending chain of recovery. You know, they do, Angel, they do. And so I don't want you guys to ever feel like I'm trying to make you do the 12 steps, but I want you to know that if you try them, really try it and give it a try. It'll help you, man. And Mara, we're going to be doing the 12 steps of Mara as soon as their book is done. So as soon as that book gets done, we're going to do that here on my channel, and we're going to do it together. And I can't wait to see how that works out, because I'm so passionate about helping other people who are on maintenance medication feel accepted and feel like they have a place and a home to be. You know, and that's what Real Talk Recovery is about: inclusivity and non-judgment. Non-judgment, never judgment here. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they can't come in here and talk about something. You'll never be judged here. I don't care if you take kratom. I don't care if you smoke the ganja. I don't care if you're on Suboxone or methadone. I don't care. I just want you to be happy, joyous, and free, whatever that means for you. To kick addiction in the mouth when it says it's just me. I'm not alone. We fight together. Exactly. And here's the thing, you guys. Like, I feel like that whole, like, we have to fight on our own and be alone, right? I feel like that comes from our disease, because that's what the disease wants us to do. It wants us to be fighting on our own, because by ourselves, we can be defeated. But when we have a crew of folks, you can't be defeated. Nicole, when you tell it like it really is, that's one of the gifts you have, the way your truth comes through. I know that my audience is getting bigger, and so I really want to make sure that if you're new and you're just coming in and you're like, who is that crazy girl? She's just yelling and screaming over there. Like, I promise you, it's just because I really care, and I really want you to understand that you're not alone, and that when I'm saying these things, it's not coming from a place of judgment. It's not coming from a place where I think, oh, I'm so much better than you. I'm coming from experience. I have been there so many times. Okay. And that's kind of what's gotten me to the point where I'm at now, is I've gone through trying to get sober so many times and failed. And I felt so alone, and I had no hope. And I thought I was going to lose my son forever. Hey, Starset One. I thought I was going to lose my son forever, you guys. And so I just want people to know that I know what you're going through. I have been there. I know what it feels like to think that there's no other way out. And I also know what it feels like to be judged by other people and looked down upon, okay? Shit's about to get real. Hey, Daniel. Well, I love you too, Deidre. Hey, Des Rose. I'm so glad you made it to a live stream. I saw your comment the other day. The self-loathing does get unbearable. Sometimes when you don't like yourself, it seems like I almost deserve to be unhappy and miserable sometimes. And Matthew, that self-loathing is your disease, because you don't deserve to be miserable. You don't have to live your life in misery anymore. Guess what? You have a family of people who will support you and help you get to the point where you need to be. But like I said, you guys, you make it what it is. If you're willing to be active, then you'll have a family of people here on Real Talk Recovery. But it's just as much effort as you put in. Okay? That's the thing with us drug addicts. Like, we just want things to come to us kind of easy sometimes. Believe me, I know, because I did the same thing. If you want to get sober and you want to have a crew of people who support you in your sobriety, you have to put in the effort, and that's what will happen. You build your own recovery family around you. I'm actually a kid that's on my mom's. I love your channel. To my mom also watches it. Oh, tell your mom I said hi, and I love her too, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to say it again because you missed it. I'm not a traditional 12-stepper, and I'm never judged in this chat. Absolutely never. And even if you are not a person who does the 12 steps, you guys, like there's still things that we can learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we can all learn from each other. I love your videos. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Ding, little heart. I learned the hard way to not be judgmental. Do y'all want me to tell y'all how I learned the hard way? Let me tell y'all a story. So back before my son was born, before I met my husband, I had been to treatment about 4 times. Okay. I added you to my featured channels. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Like, for real. Thank you. I had been to treatment about 4 times before I met my husband. Okay. And I thought I had been taught that the way to get sober, there was only one way. And so any other way that you got sober was not the right way. And so when I would meet people that were on maintenance medications or maybe people that smoked marijuana, I would talk down to them. I would judge them. I would say, you're not sober, right? And this was years and years ago. I always had this arrogance about me, all right? Ever since I was a little kid, I always thought like I knew more than other people knew. This is when I was younger, so y'all understand. I'm not like that anymore, obviously. I was humbled. I was humbled. I've been humiliated. That also humbled me. Well, when I met my husband, he was prescribed this medication called methadone. And we were just a hot mess on methadone, me and my husband. We were doing all kinds of stuff we weren't supposed to be doing. Hey, Hannah, we were taking Xanaxes and we were just abusing the medication and we were not being responsible. Well, my son ended up getting taken away because I was getting high, you guys. And I came out of treatment and my husband had gotten put on maintenance medication. And I remember the minute he told me that he was on maintenance, I started yelling at him and screaming at him and judging him for getting on Suboxone. Well, the Lord, whoever it is, the world has a funny way of giving you right back what you need, right? And so for some reason, I really struggled with getting and staying sober. I've never stayed sober longer than I think 6 to 9 months. And so I ended up getting on maintenance medication also. And that's when all that judgment, all the ridicule, all the things that I had said to other people were getting said to me. And I realized how bad it made people feel when you judge them for something that they really can't control, because when you're trying to get sober, like I said, there's so many things that you're trying to learn at one time, especially if you have a child that gets taken and put in foster care. You're trying to learn to fight for your child. And so I had judged these other women and I had looked down on other people who, shot up, and then I ended up shooting up. Get their kids taken away, and then I got my kid taken away. Homeless, and then I was homeless. So it's like all the things that I had ever thought that I was too good to let happen to me. And that's another thing that I want you guys to hear. You're never too good for something to happen to you. You're never immune to be where the next man is. And that's something I learned from being brought down to that level. I had to be humbled to come down to that level. It's funny, I found this channel watching Big Sid's channel trying to laugh, and then seeing this recovery channel, look through it and seeing you were live right now. Really crazy shit. Like I was supposed to see this. I truly believe that God puts you in the position that you need to be in, and it's fate. So many people say that same thing, Matt. They find my channel and it's like they needed to be here. So I used to judge people, you guys, and that's why I want you to know, like, I'm not perfect either, but I learned my lesson the hard way doing that to other people, and it got done to me, and it was the worst feeling in the whole wide world. It is the worst feeling in the whole wide world to be trying to do something and be trying to be better, and other people are judging you for basically something that is out of your hands. Especially if you, it was like, okay, well, I'm already on the medication. What can I do? And all these people were judging me for it, telling me that I wasn't sober, telling me that my recovery wasn't good enough. And it really bothered me. It hurt my feelings. And so that was a big turning point for me when I learned that I would rather I just be open minded. Yeah, girl, come on, call in. Captain's going to call in, y'all. So, yeah, I've been there. I've judged, and I've been judged, and it sucks. It sucks, you guys. It's not a good feeling to have. And so that's why I try to stay open minded and support everyone where they're at, because I would rather not judge others. Okay. So that's why here on my channel, we support you no matter what. Okay. I just want you to find your way to sobriety, whatever your way may be. Okay. I just want you to find your way and be happy, joyous, and free. And on that journey that you're taking, come on over here and share with us. Let us know what you're doing. I want to hear. I want to know everyone's different pathway to recovery. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and I Hello. Hey, girl.
Girl.
It's Captain Napton on the phone, y'all. What's up?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to speak on judging people.
Okay, go ahead.
I've been in active addiction like ever since when it's obviously I've been clean the last 3 years, but like I had a long history, right? And it started off with many things like teenagers kind of stuff, and then it got like I got real serious into like smoking rock and doing different shit, right?
Right.
And then like I didn't find the pharmaceutical route and all that stuff until I was about 23, and I had a friend who we partied together in high school, and like she had kids earlier than me. She started at like 18 or 19. And she had 2 boys, and she had a lot of other problems besides addiction. Like, she's a compulsive liar. She had a lot of issues, right? She was really a high-maintenance friend, but this has nothing to do with that. She had fallen deep into this addiction, and, like, her family never helped her. And I used to try and help her, and my way of helping her was just like, why can't you just stop? Your kids are about to get taken away. What the hell's wrong with you? And I cast judgment upon her so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And funny things happened, right? Like, I'm 37 years old, damn well know better, got 2 kids, and a CPS case, and an addiction that was over 10 years long on, pharmaceuticals and whatnot, opioids, benzos, and, all that good stuff. And I wasn't talking to her at that time. And honestly, like, she's the only one that I haven't made amends to in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't reach her because it's too toxic. Because she's still deep in her addiction. She's had a couple other CPS cases. She's still on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very dangerous. It's not just,
Well, what you could do...
She's no longer high maintenance. She's a danger at this time. But what should I do about that? Like, I feel bad about that. So.
Well, a way to make amends to somebody, like if she's in active addiction and you can't get to her because it's not safe for you, and it says that in the steps, it says you make amends wherever possible, except when to do so would injure you or someone else. And
right.
So if you still wanted to make amends, like that's what basically your free pass to say you don't have to do that because it would injure you. It could affect your sobriety. But what
right.
you could do is in your own way, write a letter to her, and you don't ever have to mail it because you don't know her address anyway, but write a letter and just do your amends on paper and then read it out loud and then burn it almost as like a closure. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like ceremonial in a way. Like,
yeah, because if you try to make amends to her now, even if you like mailed it to her, and her being an active addiction, she is not going to be able to process it or understand it the way that it's supposed to be done anyway. So to be doing it on your end though, to help set you free from that resentment would be a way to like write it and then burn it. You know what I mean?
right.
But
I
isn't
mean,
that funny how
it is really sad though, like, because even if she was sober, she has a lot of mental issues. Like, it's a real tough story. Like, and we were just really young when we made friends, and it just became like something else, you know. And that was the one thing that I pretty much anybody I wasn't one to really judge, but I was really close to her, and she lived with me, and I was like basically raising her kids for her before I even had kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got really close and really committed and was very judgmental of her. And she's probably like, I wasn't a very judgmental person, but she was probably the one that felt the brunt of any type of judgment I ever had.
Right. But that's how it. I think
too, Nicole,
God has a way of doing that.
When I was in my addiction, when I was high as a kite, I was super judgmental of people on medically assisted treatment.
Yes, that's how I was too. I was the same way, and I was like,
you might as well just be on dope. Just quit, you know, quit if you want to.
And I think people don't understand that I didn't understand it either, that it's different for each person and everyone's circumstances are different, you know? And so it's humbling when you were once that person who was like, hey, you need to do this, that, and the third, and then you're stuck in that situation yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a huge it's a learning experience, but I think it's like the best way that could have been done for me is because it put me in that position, and it helped me to learn that it hurts, man. I don't care what anyone says. It hurts when someone else judges you. You know what I mean?
And you know, like I take it back in a way though, because I was able to say sorry in certain ways because we didn't lose touch like after like. She was friends with me when I had the blood clots and I got introduced to morphine and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we were definitely hitting the streets together for a couple years there. And her kids were gone, and it was right before I had my kids and right after I had my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right after I had my son. Before I had my daughter is when I broke away from her because I got pregnant and I was like, I can't get my baby taken away, and I can't. But I had said sorry about judging her upon her addiction, not so much her CPS case,
mm-hmm.
but her addiction. But since my CPS case, I'm like overwhelmed sometimes with feeling bad about that.
Right. That's why I'm saying like I think you should like journal about it or write about it, because I feel like that helps to let go of those feelings that, you know, you feel like you should do something to make it right. You know what I mean?
I think it would be a good idea too.
You know what I want to know? I want to know why you won't try the 12 steps.
Well, no, I've worked the steps. I don't think there's anything wrong with the steps. I just don't go to meetings so much is what I'm more don't do.
Uh-huh.
But and I know that like you have to do certain things to be healthy in your recovery though. Like it didn't like I definitely changed my people, places, and things, and like my self-inventory, and I got counseling, and I went to classes, and I did like things like that, and I continue to do them. I just don't go to meetings.
And I think that a lot of people think that they
have a lot of value out there.
People say like meeting makers make it, but I have to say something like, yes, meetings really do help at the beginning. They help at the beginning of your recovery for sure, because what they do is they help to ingrain that habit of going and being around other people. But I really want people to understand that, you know, you can go and you don't have to go to meetings. You can stay sober and not go to meetings. I see lots of people that don't attend meetings on a regular basis and they stay sober. You know, I don't go to meetings every day.
I did go to meetings.
You know,
like the first year and a half, I went to meetings, and I went to my outpatient rehab every day of the week.
Uh-huh.
Because I only went to in-house detox during my CPS case for 8 days and then got out to go to court. Mm-hmm. And I told myself and my husband, I said, if we fuck up once, we're going inpatient the entire time, and it's going to suck.
Yeah.
So we did our outpatients, and we didn't fuck up.
Like, I consider coming here and being on the channel with us, I consider this like having a meeting. You know what I mean?
I was so happy when I found this, because I used to cruise recovery channels after I had stopped going to meetings in my classes,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to cruise recovery channels because I still want to talk about my recovery with people. I still need to do that.
Right.
I know I do.
It's very, very, it's healthy, and it helps when you have other people. Yes, these are meetings. Everybody's saying that these are like, this is like having a meeting, I feel like, and we all get to like
Totally.
share with each other and talk about where we're struggling, and then you guys are interacting in the comments and helping each other. And so I think it's a virtual meeting, basically, you know?
And we have a like respectful understanding that if we feel like somebody's fucking up, we do call each other out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like if we feel like someone's in need, we're not rude or judgmental about it, but we're like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, are you okay? Or, you know,
Right.
we're here. Like, I shouldn't say call out. I should more say, like, we're there for them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so proud.
You
I'm
know?
glad you haven't uploaded a new video on your channel, have you?
I'm so behind since I've been sick. I gotta cover some good mainstream juicy dramas.
You guys,
really
Captain has a channel. She just never uploads because she's lame as hell.
Well, back in the day, I used to do reaction videos, and I think I'm gonna go back to reactions.
I was just talking to Joy about this. Joy to the World. I was telling her that people that do reaction videos are doing really good on YouTube right now. You know, because it's a way that you can get your channel built up and have people know your personality too. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have a recovery channel, I would be doing a reaction channel. I would have all my opinions out there.
Exactly, dude. That's why I gotta watch myself because I'll spout off with my opinions, man. That's why I try to stick to the videos instead of like going live on emotion or something, you know?
Yeah, it's hard. And that was another thing that I had to learn in my recovery here on YouTube is that it was so easy for me to go off of my reactions and my emotions and make a video about somebody I was hurt with. Now I've learned like not to use my channel as a way to respond or retaliate against people who hurt me. You know, like I just let them be.
Yeah, like even with making videos, sometimes I gotta watch it because when I made I think it was my last video on the Stolen Valor, that man that was going at 23andMe.
Yes.
Like, in my opinion, 23andMe and Brittany are the most humble YouTubers that have made it kind of big on YouTube. And
they are.
That really personally, like, pissed me off. So I had to edit the hell out of that because I started going off, you know? And because if I go off too much, I'll lose my point.
Right,
you know?
Right. Because there's no reason to eat. That whole situation was absolutely retarded. Like that was just stupid as hell. The fact that they're
good ass people, dude.
Right, yeah. And Brittany and Josh have given so many other people a chance to be exposed on their channel to a bigger platform. And there's not a lot of other YouTubers that will do that, you guys, and that will work with smaller YouTubers, you know? And so when you can find somebody like Josh and Brittany on 23andMe to work with you and give you a platform to expose your channel to millions of people, basically, that's a big opportunity. And that was a huge opportunity for me. I wouldn't know all you guys if I hadn't got on 23andMe.
Yeah,
y'all would never even know I was here.
Too about well, it kind of still is going on, but with the state of like the CDC, the California Department of Corrections, and against everybody else in the United States. Well, I'm from California, and I have plenty of men in my family and in my friend circle that have gone through the CDC, and I understand that it's a lot different than every other state. But Josh was simply trying to give a perspective from everybody.
Right, all the different states.
To say anything was wrong or right.
Right.
And people jumped all over him for no reason. And I just really like them.
Yeah, I do too, girl. Okay, I love you. I'm letting you go.
I love you. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.
Go subscribe to Captain's channel.
I'm going to get on here and cam up with you soon.
Okay, I love you, girl.
I love you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, hey, Cassie. I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. I see you, girl. I see you. Thanks, you guys. I just wanted to come on here and do an evening meditation with you guys. And Captain is such a good friend of mine, and I want to help her whenever I can. You know, y'all go support her on her channel. Hopefully, eventually, she'll put out some content. But I just want you guys to know, like, I'm so grateful for each and every one of y'all that found my channel from that collaboration that I did with Josh and his wife, Brittany. They were so amazing to help me out with that. And now that I have a channel with a little bit of subscribers, I want to help people, you know? Um, I want to give other people a boost on their channels. And I know I don't have a big platform, but I really try to help other people, you guys. Hey Cindy. Love you, bestie.
You say Fortnite?
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this. Is there anything that you guys want me to make videos about over the weekend? If so, if y'all will comment and let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking, I love you too, Captain. A lot of y'all have been asking for Big Sid. So tomorrow, Big Sid's going to come on for about 10 minutes. So be ready for that. And that will just be a funny haha kind of thing. Let me see, who else do we got coming on? Did I have somebody else coming on soon? I'm trying to think. I need to get with Texas Prison Stories and Nate Dogg 916 and Big JD and see if we can collab somehow, because those three guys have been really supportive of my channel. And I want to, here's the thing, you guys, if I can network with these people, this will help me, help us to grow the channel, you know? And because I do so many live streams, and I want y'all to know something, okay? So because I do so many live streams, you know, like, I'm not, this is just time I'm spending. Like when this video goes up, they're demonetized right off the bat because they're live streams. So I have to send them in for a review. So it's not about like me, it's not about making money from my channel. It's just about exposure and getting my channel out there to more people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to make that clear for you guys. Like, I want to get my channel out there more. I want to have more exposure, because the more exposure I have, the more people that we're going to be able to help that are struggling, that feel like they're all alone, that don't have support. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm getting all kinds of, so he's going to have to line up that fade with me. Yeah. I love you, Daniel. Was here. He says he put you in his video coming out tomorrow. Oh, really? When did he come in? I didn't even see him. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, that's so nice, man. That makes me so excited. We do need to prep. It's going to be okay. Y'all don't worry. I talked to him on the phone. Like, we have each other's phone numbers. So I texted him, and it's not like, he's going to be cool. It's not going to be anything bad. It's just going to be like something funny. And then he really wants to come over here, and he's shouted my channel out so much, you guys, like so much. I'm just like, I can't even believe it. He's really been kind to me. So, thank you guys for all helping me too, because you guys have helped me to get exposure to a lot more people that I wouldn't even normally know. So you guys have helped me. I do have some really, really exciting news. It's not for sure yet, so I can't tell you guys yet, but hopefully Monday afternoon, I'll be able to tell you guys. Yes, he is. It's Mean is a good guy too, Cassie. Yes. And I call him on Instagram, and I try to help him out with his channel, you know, and honestly, you guys, like, I got off to a rough start with YouTube, you know. I got off to a rough start because I got off to a rough start because I got in with some people who were just robbing me of my serenity. I got in with some people who were still sick and struggling. And so a lot of the times those people would take things out on me, and it was just not a good thing. And then I also responded to some people in a foul way that I shouldn't have. And so I've made amends to all those people. And now I'm just working hard to be positive and to support other creators. I want to support other creators any way I can. And so I really, really appreciate you guys helping me out, because the more people that I can work with and talk with and collaborate with, the more people that we're going to have coming to the channel that need assistance and need to find recovery. And isn't it so much more fun when we have a group of people and we're doing like a meeting and everybody's talking and interacting, you know? And I want to address one more thing. So last night we had somebody come in the chat, and I really want you guys to listen. So this is important, all right? Last night we had a young man come in the chat and he was talking about taking his own life, all right? This is so important, you guys. So important. All right. Hey, Matt, you better come back. We got your back. So we do, Green-Eyed Cat. It is ruthless. So last night somebody came in and they were talking about taking their own life. All right. Now listen to me. All right, guys. We do not have the capabilities of helping or saving anyone's life who is talking about taking their own life. All right. And I do not take that as a joke. So when someone comes in the chat and they're talking about taking their own life and they say it one time, I want you to refer them to the suicide hotline, drop the link in the chat, and if they continue to go on and on about it, then they need to be timed out. You don't have to block them, but they need to be timed out, you guys, because here's the thing. We can't do anything, okay? What are we going to do? We're all sitting here on YouTube. So what that does is it ends up taking everybody's focus. Everybody, hey, Debbie, hey, girl, taking everybody's focus from the meeting and what we were talking about and trying to stay on the right path to that one person, and all the attention is there, okay? It's very important, you guys, for us to just, Margie, I'll tell you this, okay? I've given him my phone number 7 times, and he hasn't reached out to me one time. And then yesterday, when we were busy with Dr. B, and I was really in the conversation, and I was asking you guys if you had any questions, and Dr. B was talking, and I wanted you guys to hear this information. This person came in and wanted all the attention on them. Okay? I've had somebody commit suicide because I didn't call 911 and get them help. So when somebody comes in my chat talking about that, I can't do anything for you. Don't come in here talking about killing yourself, because we are not medical professionals. We're not therapists. We're not counselors. We are just addicts in recovery trying to stay sober one day at a time. All right. If you need help, you go to the suicide hotline to YouTube, because they do take some action to help them. Any of us can send the report to them. Okay. Then Cassie, that's what you do. 1, you drop the suicide hotline. 2, report it to YouTube. 3, time the person out and let them move on. Okay. 9 times out of 10, you guys, and I hate that I have to even say this, but so far, 9 times out of 10, it's been someone trolling for attention. Okay. And what it is, it's this group of people who wants to catch me not helping people and say that I really don't help people. And what they do is they make fake accounts and they come in here and they act like they're going to take their own life. And then they have the other person saying, are you okay? Is there something I can do? So you have 2 trolls in here, right? Going back and forth about suicide. And then we have other people in here who maybe really are feeling depressed, you know? Yeah. And Matthew, honestly, you guys, if you're feeling that way, then why are you, like, don't come on YouTube and talk about it. Like, it really bothers me when people do that, because it's an attention seeking motive. Okay. And I've never had anyone come into a chat unless it was a trolling for attention. And that's why I get upset, because I timed him out last night, because I was like, Jake, I've given you my number 7 times. If you need help, all you have to do is call me. And he knows that. But he didn't take my number and he didn't call me. And then he wanted to act like he was having a hard time last night. So that's a red flag to me. All right. So I hate that I even have to say that kind of stuff, but this is what people do to me, you guys. They act like they are wanting to hurt themselves so they can go and say that I didn't help them. And then they try to make a video exposing me for not helping them. It's not, yes, I know, right? Debbie, and that's, you can ask a captain, you guys, she knows. They do this on purpose. They've done it before, saying that they were about to overdose on heroin, right? And that, hey, I want to go out, I want to go overdose. And then I was like, okay, well, you need to get offline and call 911. If they're serious, they won't keep on going and going. It's scary and sad, right, Danielle? And listen, I don't want you guys to think that I don't care, because that's not the case. I do care. And if it is somebody being serious, I am so sorry. And I hate that that's even happening. But we have what can I do from right here? I don't have the power or the ability to save someone from doing something like that, And so if you're here and you're feeling like that, please go and get help. Call 911. Or if you're feeling like that and you need someone to talk to, you can go to Driven Industries Discord. Eric has a Discord for mental health. Okay, so that's another thing we can do, moderators. If someone comes in the chat, they're talking about being depressed or wanting to take their own life, we can link Driven Industries Discord, because it is a mental health Discord. But that's not what we're about on Real Talk Recovery. I don't have the ability, and I'm never going to act like I can do something about that. Nicole has had past interactions with this person and reached out. I trusted her judgment when she herself got rid of the person, as she never does that. Yes, I never do that. And I would never do that, you guys, unless I truly was like, wait, something else is going on, So anyway, that's what was going on. I just want y'all to know. And I think from now on, if we do have people that are struggling like that, we can refer them to Driven Industries Discord, because he has a mental health Discord, and hopefully that will be able to help them with that. Right, Daniel, and there's plenty of places where that is appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is we're a bunch of addicts over here. I can't save anybody's life, you guys. And that's the thing, like, it makes me sad to have to say that, but I don't have that kind of power, you know what I mean, to save someone's life. And because I've had somebody do that to me and take their own life, I don't play. I don't play around like that. It's not something you joke about. You don't come on my channel and put it in the chat. That's not cool. I have had my friend take her own life, and I could have done something, and I feel like it was my fault because I didn't do anything. I didn't call 911, and I should have. And she died because of that. So that's why it pisses me off when people do that, because it's scary and it has affected me in real life. Just feel helpless from the addiction. We all want to live at the end of the day. Sometimes you just, yes. We need that link to Driven Industries to share it in here. Absolutely, Cassie. And I'll get it to you guys. But he has an amazing Discord, and it's a poppin' Discord. So if you guys, I want you guys to all intermingle with other people. If you guys are struggling with depression and you're feeling hopeless like that, there are ways to have, connections with people who have experience with mental health and mental illness. I just don't have a lot of, I have a recovery experience, but I don't ever want to take on too much, because then I would feel responsible. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've got to protect myself. And so it's a lot to take on. It's already a lot to take on, helping others with their addictions. You know what I mean? So, and I'm already doing so much in that avenue. So it's just too much for me to take on, Life, and sent me pics in a video. Traumatizing. Danielle, that's what happened with me. And I didn't call 911, and my friend ended up hanging herself. after she sent me pictures of her neck. Then a week later, she did it and she succeeded. So she tried to hang herself. The rope broke. She had purple ligature marks all around her neck. She sent me the pictures on Instagram. I told her I was going to call 911. She begged me not to call. And then a week later, she did it and she succeeded. Oh, wow, what are we talking about the rewired soul for, David? I don't even talk to that fool. Blew his face. Dan, I did so good on my healthy eating, you guys. Like, y'all would be so proud of me, like, for real. I'm like, why are we talking about the rewired soul? So, anyways, I just want us to all be aware that, yes, it does come with the territory. Helping people who are struggling with the disease of addiction, depression, anxiety, thoughts of being alone, that comes with the territory, right? Yes, I know you're going to struggle. I know you might be having problems, and reaching out is fine. If you need to reach out and you need to connect with somebody, we have the Real Talk Recovery phone line, we have the Discord, and we have the Facebook. But it is our responsibility to let people know that we do not have the power to help when someone is in that position, because that is dangerous. That is dangerous. If I took that person on and I was like, hey, yeah, call me, and then I'm talking to them and they're suicidal and then they take their life, I would feel guilty for the rest of my life. Do you understand? I would feel so horrible. And so that's why if someone comes in with that, I let them know that I'm going to refer them to somebody that can handle that and that can help them with those thoughts. You dig? Okay. All right, you guys. I love y'all. I'm going to jump off here. I'm tired as hell. Thank you so much for everybody that's came in. And I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Now, for my girls that are on Patreon, tomorrow, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're having a Patreon-only live stream, and what we're going to be talking about is the difference between addiction and dependence. So for those of you guys that are in my Patreon, come on in and hang out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe to Captain Napton, Cray Cray Debbie, It's Mean, and yeah, I think that's everybody that has a channel that's in here. And you guys know, y'all, I want to share the wealth with everybody. And then tomorrow, before noon, Big Sid, Real Prison Talk, will be over here on the channel with me, chopping it up, acting crazy as hell. All right, love you guys.